Before we get started with the first Gaming with Raccoon-Formers video since 2022, I have a quick warning I need to let you know about. I started working on this video a little bit before I actually started working on my face reveal video that I uploaded on August 3rd, and it was super close to when I actually needed to start working on that. So eventually I had to stop working on this video, and I had to actually start working on my face reveal video, and since that video took a little bit longer than I anticipated, I needed to focus on that video in order to have it ready for August 3rd. I wasn't able to finish this video or another video that I'm going to talk about in a little bit in time to be able to upload them before I actually upload my face reveal video. So because of that, the first few minutes of this video will not have me on camera, because once you actually see the video itself, you'll see how much footage I actually was able to get done before I had to start working on my face reveal video, and you'll understand why I didn't want to actually redo all that footage. But once all that footage is done, I will be on camera again, and I'll be sure to put up a text letting you know when I'll actually start being on camera again, just to give you a warning. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say here. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but I really hope you enjoyed today's video, so cue the intro.
RACCOON hyphen FORMERS. What does that spell? Raccoon-Formers, yeah! Raccoon-Formers, the YouTube channel for all of your Transformer needs.
Hello everyone, Raccoon-Formers here, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Gaming with Raccoon-Formers. Most of y'all probably forgot that this series existed because I took an extremely long break from this series because I needed to focus on other things. The last time I uploaded an entry into this series was in October of 2022, where I took a look at Transformers Forged to Fight before it actually got decommissioned in January of 2023. Meaning I haven't actually made a gaming video in over a year, and I never actually uploaded an entry into this series in 2023. But now I am returning to this series, and I'll be doing it in a very big way. I will be uploading Season 2 Episode 6 and Season 2 Episode 7 on the same day as a double feature to make up for taking such a big break from this series. Season 2 Episode 6 will be on Transformers Rescue Bots Disaster Dash, a video game based off of the hit TV series. And Season 2 Episode 7 will be on a different Transformers Rescue Bots video game called Transformers Rescue Bots Hero Adventures. I'm really excited to take a look at these two games with you because they are really fun. And I really am excited to give you my thoughts on the two games. And like I said before, I'll be starting with Rescue Bots Disaster Dash. This game is set around the Season 3 and 4 time period of Rescue Bots, and you'll definitely see what I mean later in the video. So let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at the loading screen for the game. I didn't realize this before, but there are actually 3 different loading screens in this game. There's this one that you'll see the second you actually open the game before all the logos pop up. There's this one that you'll see after all the logos pop up with the play button there, which is what you press to actually start the game. And then there's this one, which is the loading screen that pops up whenever you get ready to start a level and whenever a level ends. And I'll be taking a look at the details of all these different loading screens right now, starting with the one that you get before the logos pop up. Here we have the before logos loading screen. Like I said before, this is the loading screen that you'll get before you actually do anything in the game. It's the thing that you'll see the second you actually open the game, and it's a pretty cool first thing to see because there are a lot of cool details here. We have all the different bots that you're able to use. We have Heatwave, Chase, Blades, Boulder, Optimus, Bumblebee, and Quickshadow. And you'll notice that most of them are in their dino modes, which they acquired in Season 3 of Rescue Bots. Except for Heatwave, he's just in his normal robot mode, which is a little bit weird if I'm being honest, considering his dinosaur mode is pretty cool as well. And because every other character who actually had a dino mode is actually in their dino mode here, so it's weird that Heatwave isn't actually in his dino mode here since he did have one in the show. And it looks like they also actually made a change to give Bumblebee a dinosaur mode as well, because that dinosaur mode that he's in there, he never actually acquired in the show at all. And since they decided to give him a dinosaur mode that he didn't actually have in the show, it is a little bit weird that they didn't just give Quickshadow a dinosaur mode that she didn't actually have in the show. Because I feel like it would have been a whole lot cooler if each of these guys had a dino mode that you can use in the game, because their dinosaur modes have a special use during each of the levels, which I'll go over later on, but Quickshadow doesn't have that. She has a different special ability, and I feel like they should have just given her a dinosaur mode, even though she never actually had one in the show, since they ended up giving Bumblebee a dinosaur mode, which is something that he never actually had in the show. I don't know, that's just something I wanted to point out. Okay, moving on. The other details we have here is a little logo with the word Budge with a little green monster next to it, because Budge is the company that actually created this game and Transformers Rescue Bots Hero Adventures, which I'll be taking a look at in the next episode, which I'll be uploading later today. And then over here, we have a miniature version of the Transformers Rescue Bots logo, looking super cool. And the background looks super cool as well. It looks like they're heading through a ground bridge, because the ground bridge is something that got introduced in Season 4 of Rescue Bots. And it also plays a little bit of a part in this game as well. So it's cool that they incorporated it into the loading screen. Well, that's all I have to say about the before logos loading screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at the after logos loading screen. Here we have the after logos loading screen. As the name implies, this is the loading screen that will pop up after all of the logos pop up. And this is how you'll know that you are officially in the game and you're able to get it started. There aren't as many details here as the before logos loading screen, but there are still some pretty decent details here that I'm excited to show you all. The main thing that stands out to me is this copy and paste picture of Heatwave, and the reason why I call it a copy and paste picture is because it literally looks exactly the same as the picture of Heatwave in the before logos loading screen. That's another reason why I wish Heatwave was actually in his Dino mode in the before logos loading screen, because it definitely is weird that Budge actually decided to put the one character who actually wasn't in his Dino mode when he had a Dino mode in the show in the after logos loading screen, considering that the characters' Dino modes play such a huge part in this game. So I feel like seeing a character in their Dino mode would have made much more sense for the after logos loading screen, if I'm being honest. But that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I do really like these little lines on Heatwave's arm. It really makes it seem like he's actually running, or he was running, and he's coming to like a jolting stop or something. That isn't something that I actually noticed with this picture in the before logos loading screen. Maybe it's because the before logos loading screen version of the picture was super far away and this one's up close and a whole lot larger, but I really do like that addition. It makes the picture look way more cooler than it did before. Anyway, the other smaller scale details here is basically a super tiny version of the Rescue Bots logo along with the words Disaster Dash. And then we have a cyan play button down here with a white triangle on it, and that's what you press to actually start the game. And then there's obviously that dark blue background with that light blue diagonal line. It looks so-so in my opinion. I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the after logos loading screen. There definitely wasn't as much to talk about when in comparison to the before logos loading screen, but this loading screen is still pretty good nonetheless. Let's go ahead and take a peek-see at the levels loading screen. Here we have the levels loading screen, and it's also quite simple. It's basically just a ground bridge that closes up, and then it opens up to show you the new area of the game that you traveled to. It looks pretty cool in my opinion. There's this white pad that people I guess use to walk up to the ground bridge with little blue lines on it. There's guardrails on both sides. There's this cool little circle shape with little green lines that match the color of the ground bridge's portal, going all around this Autobot insignia right in the center. There are big gray triangle-like shapes in the middle of each green line to sort of make it look more like a portal that's actually opening and closing. And then we have a lot more of the green color that makes up the ground bridge portal on either side of it over here and here. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the levels loading screen. It's a pretty decent loading screen. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to see before and after each level. And I'll show you how the loading screen works with the ground bridge opening and closing later on when I show off all of the levels, but more on that in a little bit. Anyway, speaking of the levels, let's go ahead and take a peek-see at the level screen of the game, which basically acts as the home screen for the game. Here we have the levels screen, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see down here in the corner, we have a little icon that will advertise other games made by the company that made this game, Budge Studios. And in the background, we have this awesome looking grid pattern with cyan lines and dark blue squares, which looks pretty cool. We have Cody Burns right here, who narrates the game, and it's obviously his Season 4 look. Down here we have this cool Earth icon, which looks super duper cool in my opinion. Right up here we have the settings icon, and for whatever reason it always tries to have you put in numbers in order to actually access the settings, which is a little odd in my opinion. And then obviously we have all of the different levels themselves. Right now I only have one unlocked and the other three aren't. And if you actually try tapping on one of the levels that isn't unlocked, you'll get this from Cody.
We still can't contact that city!
Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about the level screen. Let's go ahead and move on to the character selection screen, and that's where I'll explain how I'll show y'all each of these levels while some of them aren't unlocked yet.
Here we have the character selection screen, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can see, the first two things you can see are two pedestals, and basically all the levels are split up into a few different quadrants, and you need to actually choose a specific character for each quadrant, and that's what these different pedestals are for, and each level has a different amount of characters that you need for it. So sometimes it only needs one character, and I think that's how it works from the very beginning of the game, like with the very first level. Then you need two, and down the line, you need more than two. And funny enough, you only get two characters in this game for free, Boulder and Blades. The rest you have to pay for, and I think that's the reason why you need more than two characters for some of the levels down the line, because it's the game's way of trying to convince you to actually pay for the rest of the characters. And I actually did pay for the rest of the characters specifically, so that way I can make this video and my Heroes Adventures gaming video later on today. So just make sure you know, I did do this for you, so you are welcome. Anyway, down here we have the characters that you're able to use. And we have the core 4 rescue bots here, Heatwave, Chase, Boulder, and Blades. We have Optimus and Bumblebee themselves, the dynamic duo of Transformers. And we have Quickshadow, who was introduced in Season 4 of the show. Really, really cool in my opinion. And here is a little slideshow of all of the different characters doing their cool poses that they do whenever they're chosen, with Cody saying their names all dramatically like
Heatwave! Chase! Boulder! Blades! Optimus Prime! Bumblebee! Quickshadow!
Pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. And here is the character selection screen in its full form. The reason why I had it cropped before is because I wanted to make it easier for y'all to be able to focus on the pedestals and the different characters. But right here in the center, we have a cool animated image of the first level, which is volcano themed. We have a cool background that's supposed to resemble the inside of the training center from Season 4. All in all, it's pretty dang cool, I'm not going to lie. And now I think it's about time to actually get started with doing a playthrough with the different levels. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to show off Heatwave and Chase in the first level, Boulder and Blades in the second, Optimus and Bumblebee in the third, and Quickshadow in the fourth. And you're probably wondering how I'm going to do that while some of the levels aren't unlocked yet. Well, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to actually just do the recordings that I need to do with each level, and then I'm just going to play the rest of a specific level off camera in order to unlock the next one, and then I'll do all the recordings I need to do there, and so on and so forth. So, without further ado, let's get started with a playthrough of Heatwave in the first level. The level is now starting. There's the level's loading screen. We need to rescue 3 humans in this level, so let's get things started. Heatwave comes through the ground bridge, and you have a little area where the humans that you rescue go. 3 hearts. If you bump into these obstacles, you lose them. You just need to swipe once to jump, twice to double jump, and it's cool how he uses his hoses in order to double jump. Pretty creative. There's a human we need to rescue. He goes right up there, like I said. Then you can swipe down in order to transform and go into this other lane to continue avoiding these obstacles. Another human right up there. And you need to collect these little energy bits in order to fill up this meter. And once you do, you have his Brontosaurus mode. And you can swipe the screen in order to do this cool action that allows you to actually go through different obstacles. And once you get the 3 humans, the level is over. So let's go ahead and get started with the playthrough of Chase in this level. The level is once again starting. There's the level's loading screen right again. The 3 humans we need to rescue. And it's now time for Chase to have the spotlight. There he is, running through. jump, double jump, and he uses his lights to double jump. All the characters have a super creative way of being able to double jump. It's pretty cool. Transform, pick up a human. That was a pretty weird and random time to transform, if I'm being honest, but who cares? Let's collect these energy bits. Ooh. Ooh. It's time for some Stegosaurus action. Ooh. Ooh, and his cool motion is being able to create this little shield. Oops, I forgot to pick up a human. Hopefully that human makes it out alive somehow, some way. Whoops. And yes, you don't get to be a Stegosaurus forever, unfortunately. But yeah, there, the level is over. Let's go ahead and get started with the playthrough of Boulder in the second level. Second level is now starting. There's the level's loading screen, and this particular level is tsunami themed. It's now time for Boulder to have the spotlight. There he is in his bulldozer mode. Transform. And how funny is it that a dirty bulldozer bot is the one who's going off in a water-themed level? Kind of ironic if I'm being honest. Anyway, he again has the ability to actually use dirt to double jump. Look at that. Like I said before, the characters all have a super creative way of being able to double jump. Time to collect these energy bits to transform into a Triceratops. Look at that bad boy. His special move is being able to create this little force field that allows him to charge through obstacles. Super cool. And right up there is this little meter that shows how much farther you need to go. And if you stay in robot mode for too long, the tsunami will catch up to you, and you need to transform into bulldozer mode in order to outrun it. So, yeah. And also I ended up losing a heart, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Anyway, Triceratops mode again. And ooh, look at that. 3 humans that need a rescuing. They're all safe and sound. And with that, the level is over. So let's get started with the playthrough of Blades in this level. Second level is once again starting. There's the level's loading screen again, and it's now time for Blades to have the spotlight. There he is in his helicopter mode. Transform. Look at that giant crater there. That's kind of cool. A huge dam, if you will. Must have been a lot of damage here. That little exclamation point there meant that Blades was getting too close to the tsunami, and therefore he had to transform into helicopter mode in order to outrun it, or outfly it, if you will. And the way he can double jump is by using his helicopter blades, another really creative way that he can double jump. I'm quite impressed by that. And it's now time for some pterodactyl action, and his special move is being able to create this whirlwind that goes through obstacles. Super darn cool. Robot mode again. Jump, double jump. Ooh yeah. Transform. Transform again. It's now time to rescue some humans. 1, 2, and 3. Ooh yeah. With that, the level is over. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the playthrough of Optimus Prime in the third level. Third level is now starting. There's the level's loading screen again, and this particular level is snow themed. It's now time for my man Optimus Prime to have the spotlight. There he is, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. No, I'm just kidding about the open sleigh. It's time to rescue a human. His particular way of double jumping is quite interesting because it allows him to basically use a jetpack that he never actually had in Rescue Bots, and doing so, I ended up losing a heart. So, yeah. Ooh. Oh, dang, I missed that particular heart that I could get. Anyway, it's now time for some T-Rex action, and his special move is creating this sonic roar that allows him to go through obstacles, and there's the final human, and with that, the level is over. So let's go ahead and get started with the playthrough of Bumblebee in this level. Third level is once again starting. There's the level's loading screen once again, and it's now time for the Bumblemeister to have the spotlight. There he is, dashing through the snow once again. Hee, jump, double jump. Although I am not a huge fan of the way that he double jumps. It's not really all that unique, and he just uses like air to double jump. But I do honestly like that little cartwheel that he does when he actually lands. Let me show you again real quick. See? That's pretty cool. Jump to grab another human. Hoo-hoo! And it's now time for some Velociraptor action. And his cool motion is this cool lunge that allows him to go through obstacles. And oops, I accidentally lost a human. Hopefully they'll make it out somehow, some way. And I definitely do wish that he actually had that Velociraptor mode in the show. We were definitely robbed in that department. Anyway, jump, double jump. Grab that human, get him to safety, and with that, the level is over. So let's go ahead and get started with the playthrough of Quickshadow in the fourth and final level. Fourth and final level is now starting. There's the level's loading screen once more, and this particular level is sandstorm themed, and it's now time for Quickshadow to have the spotlight. There she is in her super spy car, transform right in the nick of time, jump, double jump. She does a cool cartwheel in the air in order to double jump. Pretty cool, and I like the way she transforms. She transforms all super speedy and stuff like that. Speaking of super speediness, her special move is not a dino mode like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Instead, it's the supersonic like mode. And her special move is just doing these super speedy strokes that allow her to go through obstacles. Pretty cool, but I would have preferred a dino mode if I'm being honest. Ooh, dang, I lost a heart. I have only 1.5 hearts left. Gotta be careful there. Ooh, gotta transform to avoid the tornado or the sandstorm or whatever. It's kind of hard to tell what the theme is here. Ooh, I only have half a life left. Gotta be careful now. Jump, double jump, transform again. Super speedy mode time. Kind of reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog if I'm being honest. So, ooh, hey, got to pick up an extra heart. That's cool. Another one. Ooh, it's time to pick up some humans. 1, 2, and 3. Super speedy Quickshadow to the rescue. And with that, the level is over. And now it's about time to actually discuss some extra things about the levels that I wasn't able to actually cover in these playthroughs. So let's go ahead and get started with that. The first extra thing you need to know about the levels is the fact that Cody isn't the only one who's actually able to talk in this game. The humans sometimes talk in this game, saying things like, "Help, I need help," or "Thanks for rescuing me," and stuff. And Heatwave and Chase are able to talk as well, but they're the only 2 Transformers characters in this game that are able to talk. Blades doesn't talk, Boulder doesn't talk, Optimus doesn't talk, Bumblebee doesn't talk, and Quickshadow doesn't talk. And if they weren't going to make those characters talk, I almost feel like it would have been better to not make Heatwave and Chase talk either, because it's a little bit weird that they're able to talk, but the other Transformers characters aren't able to. The next extra thing I have to say about the levels is the fact that throughout the different levels, sometimes certain phrases get said by Cody and by Heatwave and Chase, since they're the only Transformers characters who are able to talk. I don't want to spoil any of the different phrases for you because I want you all to be able to experience that yourself when playing this game, but trust me, sometimes there will be phrases at the beginning of the level, sometimes there will be phrases in the middle of the level, and sometimes there will be phrases at the end of a level, and certain phrases might only come when you're playing certain levels throughout the game, so keep an eye out for that when you play the game for yourself. The next extra thing I have to say about the levels is the fact that whenever the different characters transform into their dino mode, they say the iconic phrase of "power up" and "energize" beforehand. Don't get me wrong, that phrase really is cool, but throughout the series, they used that phrase when they were getting ready to use those cool tools that they used throughout the series. They never actually used that phrase when getting ready to transform into their dino mode, so if I'm being honest, they really should have thought of a dino-ish phrase that the characters could have all said when getting ready to transform into their dino mode. Like, "It's time to get ready to rumble" or something. Let me know in the comments what phrase they should have actually put into this game when the characters get ready to transform into their dino. And the final extra thing I have to say about the levels is the fact that when you get to the end of the second level and going into the third and fourth level, you are going to actually need to pay for the extra characters because you're going to need more than 2 characters for all those different levels and quadrants and stuff. And you only get 2 characters for free, Boulder and Blades, and therefore you'll need to pay for the rest. So I thought I'd give you a warning that that's the point where you're going to need to pay for the rest of the characters if you intend on finishing the game. Anyway, those are all the different extra things I have to say about the levels. Now, let's go ahead and head back to the levels screen so I can show you what the levels screen looks like once all the levels are complete. Here we are back at the levels screen, ladies and gentlemen. It definitely looks quite different, I'll tell you that much. Basically, all of the levels show a city that looks a lot more neater since all of the different disasters that were going on in each city had gotten taken care of as you played the levels. And when you actually complete each level, the fake city that you're trying to save sends you a medal that you actually get as a thank you for saving said fake city, and that's what these little silver bits are for. The first level was volcano themed, so it has a volcano medal. The second level was ocean and tsunami themed, so it has an ocean and tsunami medal. The third level was snow themed, so it has a snow medal. And the fourth level was tornado and sandstorm themed, so it has a tornado and sandstorm medal. It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And what's really cool is the fact that after you actually finish all the levels, you have the option of actually being able to restart the game either in easy mode or hard mode, which is pretty cool in my opinion, because you have to pay in order to actually finish the game, because you need all the characters in order to finish the game, and you have to pay for all the extra characters besides Boulder and Blades. So it's nice to know that you can continue to actually use your characters that you paid money for even after you complete the game. Pretty nice touch, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about the entire game of Disaster Dash. It's a pretty fun game, although it can get pretty repetitive, and it would have been nice if they added in characters like Blur, Salvage, High Tide, etc. But if you're a fan of Transformers, and especially if you're a fan of Rescue Bots, you will love this game, and I highly recommend downloading it. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Well, friends, this pretty much wraps up this gaming video. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to click that big red subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a future video. And I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this double feature that acts as a grand return to my gaming series after not uploading an entry since October of 2022. I really hope this double feature is currently making up for the fact that I took such a long break from this series, because I never intended to actually take such a long break from my gaming series. It just so happened that I was caught up with other things between October of 2022 and now. But I'm definitely happy to be jumping back into this series, and I hope y'all are enjoying the grand return of this series. And be sure to stay tuned for later today, where I'll take a look at the other Transformers Rescue Bots video game, Transformers Rescue Bots Hero Adventures, in Season 2, Episode 7 of Gaming with Raccoon-Formers, aka the second part of this double feature. And once again, I apologize for not being on camera for the first part of this video, but hopefully after you've watched this video, you'll understand why I didn't want to redo all of the footage that I wasn't on camera for, because it was quite a lot of footage. Anyway, that's all I have to say. As always, I'm Raccoon-Formers, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!